Live from KTVN Reno, you're watching 2 News at 5:30.
Months for recovery during the 2013 shutdown. This will take months or years.
An industry you might not expect to suffer from the shutdown is. Why the craft liquor and beer business is hurting is tonight's 2 News big story at 5:30. And Senate lawmakers held 2 separate votes today to try to come up with a solution to the shutdown, but both of those failed. I'm Landon Miller.
And I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for keeping it here. Today, the Senate failed to pass President Trump's proposal offering extended temporary protections for some immigrants in exchange for barrier or wall funding, along with a bill backed by Democrats to reopen the government without border wall funding. A bipartisan group of senators is discussing approving a 3-week continuing resolution to fund the government. President Trump told reporters he would support that, but only if it includes a, quoting here, large down payment for a border wall.
One of the ideas suggested is they open it, they pay a sort of a prorated down payment for the wall, which I think people will agree that you need.
After the president spoke, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi rejected the idea of a down payment. Now, the number of craft distilleries and craft breweries across the country are on the rise.
Yeah, but the ripple effects of the shutdown are actually hitting them pretty hard, including right here at home. Elizabeth Olvera picks up the story live in the studio after speaking with a couple of Reno's very own. And Liz, this is really throwing them for a loop here.
Yeah, Landon, well, that's an understatement, because for many, it doesn't only mean that they can't sell or package new craft liquor and beer recipes, but it's also throwing a wrench in some of their business plans.
We make whiskey, rum, gin.
Seven Troughs Distilling Company recently moved into the basement. But effects of the government shutdown have trickled to their business underground.
We are really highly regulated by the TTB, it's the Tax and Trade Bureau.
With those doors currently closed, craft liquor businesses cannot get new recipes, labels for new items, or even new equipment approved.
Those are all things that could kill a business.
Since innovation is the name of the game in the craft business, it really puts a damper on the flourishing industry.
We have triple-digit growth. We want to take advantage of that. We want to offer new products that ride new trends, and without having the ability to get those products approved, we're dead in the water.
10 years ago, people really relied on flagship beers, but it's shifted, and now people they want what's new.
Both Imbibe and Seven Troughs have recipes and labels waiting for approval.
We have 4 or 5 labels that are pending.
But their future is in limbo.
And without that, we can't go into distribution, we cannot sell that product.
Permits to expand operations are also at a halt. In fact, Adams canceled a business meeting just today, which would have focused on the company's growth.
We can't do that right now, we're completely shut down.
And over at Imbibe, they recently signed a lease for a second location, but now they can't even get their license approved.
Dipping into our coffers to try to cover rent when we can't actually bring in additional revenue.
The government needs to reopen.
And even when it does, the approval process for applications will be backlogged.
When nobody's home, the mailbox gets full.
When they finally open back up, and it's going to push a lot of things back.
Now, both Adams and Thompson added that it's not just their businesses that will be affected, but it has a ripple effect. Like the companies they use to print those labels will also be overwhelmed with taking care of back orders if and when the government reopens. Covering the big story live in the studio, Elizabeth Olvera, 2 News.